Welcome to this session on how to create your brand personality, how you can create your brand personality as an entrepreneur, a brand personality for your business. Even if you're a freelancer, you're an independent professional, you can use this to do that. And we'll go straight to the practical steps that you need to go through to create your brand personality. And as I am explaining all of these steps, begin to look at what are the steps you're already doing right now. Because the truth is that any serious entrepreneur and any serious professional, there is a time where you start, you're unconsciously building your brand personality without knowing. And at the same time, you're also killing your brand personality without knowing. So as I talk about these things, begin to look at what are you doing already? What do you need to stop doing? And what are the new steps that you need to start doing? If you are able to do these three things before the end or towards the end of this session, you will be able to know exactly the steps you will take after this session to create a good brand personality for your startup, for yourself. So look at, as I'm talking, what are you already doing? Point two, what do you need to stop doing? Point three, what are the new things that you need to start doing? So when you are able to do this, you will definitely be able to create a good brand personality for your business and, of course, for yourself as a professional. Okay, number one is identify your audience archetype. And this is the first session that we handled. You need to know your audience archetype, the type of audience you're targeting, who are they, what do they want, because you need to understand the behaviors and the characteristics of your audience. You need to know the behaviors and the threats that they display, because you need these ingredients to build a good brand personality. It is difficult for you to build a good brand personality for your startup or for your business if you do not know the behaviors and the characteristics of your audience. So sometimes I always encourage people, identify your audience and write down their characteristics. For example, if you're targeting university students, write university students and list the behaviors of university students. List the characteristics of university students. It's very important because it will help you in creating the type of messaging, your brand messaging that will meet them at the point of their need, okay? Number two, the second step that you need to go through to create a good brand personality is identify your brand role. This is very important. Many people struggle in building the right brand personality because they don't know the role that brand or their brand is playing in the lives of the customers or the target market. Because the role you play in the life of your audience is influential in determining, very important, very influential in determining the most suitable archetype for your brand personality. It's also important in determining the kind of message that you communicate. And I'm giving an example. In this particular class, in this particular session, right? You are the business mentees, for example. My role is to be a business mentor. Now, it also gets different when somebody comes to me for business coaching. My role is to be a coach. Now, when I am building my brand type, let's go to the first. Here, if you look at this, my graphic design, right? My role to people here is I am a speaker for conference organizers. I am a trainer for workshop organizers. I am a consultant for business people. I am an entrepreneur for investors or for whoever needs to know, right? This is my brand role. Around this, my brand graphic design, you see? So every business, you need to know what is your role in the life of your target people. If you run a church, your role is a pastor, is a counselor, is an encourager, for example. So look at that, your business that you run. Is it the fashion business, event business, technology, whatever? Specifically understand the key role that you play in the life of your audience. What is that key significant role that you play in the life of your audience? Okay, good. So based on the outcome you provide your audience and the journey you take them on to get there, define what role you will play in their lives. Very important. So the kind of outcome that you create for your customers determines the role you play in their lives. The kind of journey that you take them through determines the kind of role that you play in their life. So look at your startup, look at yourself. If a customer buys your product, what is the outcome of consuming that your product or your service? What is the journey that you take your customer through when they encounter you as a professional or they encounter your business? What is their journey? Like, for example, I can tell you the journey I will take you through when I become your business consultant, I become your coach, I become your speaker, your trainer, whatever. I can tell you the journey and I can tell you the estimated outcomes that you will go through if I coach you for 1 week, for 2 weeks, for 3 months, for 1 year, all of that. You see, and I can tell you the journey that we're going to go through, the transformation journey, the growth journey, the impactful journey, the result-driven journey, the money-making journey. It all depends on the outcome that we want to create. And this is what makes people now to be glued to your brand and be willing to pay you for your service. So you run a startup, you run a business, you run an agency, whatever that you're doing. What is the outcome that you provide to your audience? And what journey will you take them through to get to that outcome? Very important in your branding. You see, so branding becomes very critical at this stage. Number 3, align your brand to an archetype. Yes, so you need to, I think that's why we handled the first session of this program is we looked at the various 12 brand archetypes. Now you need to align your brand. If your business, if you're targeting high-class people, so you need to pick out the rulership archetype. If you're focusing on inclusion, togetherness, and targeting the average society, then you need to target the brand archetype that welcomes everybody. So at this point, you understand some critical information to allow you to align your brand to an archetype personality. And we gave examples. You look at every brand that is making it across the world. They are aligned to a particular archetype, from Apple to IBM to Coca-Cola to Microsoft to Google to you can list and all of that. You will see that if you read the various archetypes, they are aligned to them because it enables the quality of communication and the quality of their messaging. That's why you cannot start creating your brand personality when you have not identified the archetypes that suit the kind of business that you are running. Okay, good. Now, the next is, so again, just explaining this, because in the archetype, you understand who your audience is. You understand the journey they are on, their fears and desires, their characteristics and behaviors, and the role you want to play in their lives. This is very important for you to understand. If you run a business, if you are a professional, avoid guessworking your audience. Yes, there can be a ripple effect, but you need to have a primary audience that your business is called to serve, a primary audience that you are called to serve as a professional. Then there can be spillover effects to other people. You see, like for example, when I'm doing in my consulting, for example, I target a lot of established businesses. But if a startup sees that, oh, I need your services, okay, that's a spillover effect for me. You see, and you can also transition your brand. When I started doing consulting and coaching 8 years ago, 10 years ago, my primary market was startup entrepreneurs, right? And then established corporations were the spillover people, spillover effect. But as I grew, I now transition. Now I'm not focusing on startups. I am focusing on corporate institutions, established businesses, and all of that. But if a startup comes, it's a spillover effect for me. They're not my primary clients. But it doesn't mean I cannot serve them. One thing about succeeding in business is you focus a lot on your primary market where you create the highest impact and make the highest money. Then the other people that come after that market, there's spillover effect. If you have the bandwidth and the resources and the time, good, you can serve them. If you don't, it's okay. Many times I refuse to accept coaching from startups because I already have my hands full working with established corporations or businesses. You get the difference. But I have a primary audience that my brand is serving. Because when I have a primary audience, I know the journey they are on and how I would like to take them on that journey. I know their fears and desires, which enables me to create solutions and create answers to their fears. I know their characteristics and their behaviors, which enables me to create the right transformation. I know the role I want to play in their lives. You see, when these things are done, the way you communicate and create solutions and administer and sell and do whatever you're marketing, you hardly get it wrong. The funny thing, many people get to do this from the place of guesswork. That's why they struggle in business, okay? So if you don't have answers to these important elements, please, after this session, go get your answers. Go and ask yourself, this is my startup, this is my profession, this is my career. Who are my primary audience? Who is my biggest target audience? What journey are they on? Go to the field, ask questions if you must. Identify clearly what are their greatest fears right now. Because you need to know, so you create solutions and answers for those fears and create impact and make money. What do they desire? When you know their desires, you are able to meet their aspirations, which makes them like you more and stay glued to your brand more. Because anybody that you can meet their aspirations and desires, they will love you more. Or you can create a better experience for them based on their desires, they will like you more. You see that? Good. Number 4, bring your human brand persona to life. Yes, yes, yes. Don't just communicate with logos and colors and all of that. No, let the human brand persona be there. When a customer can easily assign human traits to your company, human traits to your business, to your startup, and all of that, right? Yes. So there could be some gestures that you make as a person. There are some things that's why I see some companies, like there are some companies that all the sales girls in that company, they must be fair in complexion. Some they must be pure black or black chocolate, all of that, right? So some of those things bring some humanness into the brand. It easily makes a customer to assign human traits to a company. Like, for example, many people know that I wear only black shirt and black tie, right? Then there was a time I tried one time and I wore a white shirt and everybody commented, first time I'm seeing you in a white shirt. So there's that human persona attached to the brand, not just the speaking training, but there are some things that you get to do that brings that humanness to your brand. It's very important. Don't just be stiff, don't just be transactional. No, find a way to bring some humanity into your brand, into your business. It's very important. You could create fun-filled things. You could do some people are going to do like giveaways. They get to do videos, do giveaways, do gifts, whatever that you can do to bring some humanity into your brand is very important. Okay, because sometimes with a lot of technology and transactional things, people forget totally on how they can bring the humanness. Go beyond technology, go beyond transactions, and find a way to add some humanity into what you do. Very important. Let people be able to relate with the human part of your business or of your profession. Okay, good, very important. A brand persona is a collection, right, of personality traits, you see, personality, attitude, and values that your brand showcases on a regular basis to help connect with a certain audience segment. A brand persona can be a person. That's why some companies sign brand ambassadors. Yes, because if they don't have ambassadors, it will just be product distribution, it will just be just transaction. But when people see a star that they like, a celebrity they like, representing the brand, it brings that human persona. You see, that's why companies sign ambassadors. Character, it could be a character of love and care, character of support, humanitarian activities. It brings that humanness. You buy gifts to go give to the poor, to the needy, to widows, right? You like sometimes you see some brands that go clean the street with their workers. That what they're trying to do, they're trying to bring some brand persona to the company. We can create a mascot, right? You get a young boy to wear a mascot, all of that, dance around, relate with people and all of that, very powerful. That human part is very important in building a brand. So you need that to create your brand personality, and you need a lot of consistency. Growth as far as branding is concerned does not happen by guesswork. It takes a lot of intentionality. So for you to create a successful brand personality that produces results, you need to be intentional about it, and most importantly, very consistent. Very consistent. See, there's no brand personality that you create in few weeks, in few days. No, it will take months and years consistently to create it. You understand? It will take a lot of time to create it. So you need to be conscious about that and take out these steps, all of these steps, begin to put them to work, and you will be amazed at the personality that you will be able to create for yourself as far as your brand personality is concerned. Next session, we'll be looking at now how to express it, right? So you have seen the steps which you can use now to create the personality. Good. Now, how do you express the personality? Okay, good. Any questions regarding this? You can ask them in the chat, or you can speak up.